This is a morning story, and I'm actually all packed up and ready to leave for my work. I go to my flower garden, and then I have this box and I pack a nice lunch. Today I have a beyond yummy lunch that I packed, and a tea, and even a sweet for dessert. And I'm really excited to go today because the sun is out, and it's a cold morning. We're at the end of November. There was frost on the grass and the moss and the leaves this morning when I did my morning walk with the dogs. And every step I took, I saw the sunlight coming through, whether it was windows of other people's homes or even the hollow skeleton of the huge building in front of us that's being renovated, and where the sunlight would come through all the empty spaces of that skeleton. The sunlight was also cracking through the leaves that are still on the trees. It was lighting up the bark of all the trees that are now more visible because there's less leaves or no leaves. And it was so beautiful. And I just kept looking and seeing things, and the red berries of I don't know what it's called in English, but the berries of shrubs that are now carrying fruit. It looked surreal. It's so red. The reddest lipstick. And I thought, I have to pause and, not write this down, but voice this down. And then I got home and I treated the dogs on a little birthday breakfast for my youngest dog, who's turning 3 today. And she was like all sassy this morning. She can be very playful still. And yes, that's her in the background. And as I was watching her and thinking about her being 3 already and how we found her, how she found us, was actually a peculiar story, because we had just adopted a dog maybe a year before. I don't remember exactly. And I was over the moon with her, with the adopted dog. She came from Spain, and she has a wildness that really enthralled me. And I had never had dogs before, none of us, and no experience whatsoever. So it was quite Gigi. It was quite a jump in the dark to take a dog. But because I was so happy with our first dog, I had been thinking, it would be so lovely to have a second one, and they will play together. And it's teaching me so much to be with animals. So at 3 Christmas, 3 years ago with Christmas, I booked a small cabin, and I did like a 2-day retreat for myself there. And at that farm with the cabin, they had a nest of puppies. And of course, I was like, wow, this is really, answering my call for a second dog. They were like a breed that is so rare here and all over the world. It's mainly a Dutch breed. You would see it more in the Netherlands. And they were so gentle and so sweet. And the mother was like really mothering her babies like the best mother ever. And so when my husband and the 2 boys arrived 2 days after I booked the cabin, we would spend the Christmas there. I told the boys actually, like, there's this nest of puppies here and let's just take one. Let's not ask Daddy because he's gonna say no. And I want us to take another puppy. And of course the boys were in. What do you think? So for Christmas, we actually announced to my husband, okay, we're getting a puppy, a second dog. And he sat there and he said, like, okay, I can see that I have no negotiation whatsoever in this thing. So I don't think it's a good idea, but, well, since you guys have decided and it's 3 against 1, I'll just go with it. And for me, taking the puppy was actually a way to not listen to reason anymore. It was huge for me because my husband, he's all about reason. I've been raised all about reason. My dad is all about reason. And yeah, it is just my, let's say, upbringing and the way I grew up that always will call for, like, okay, this is reasonable, let's do it. Oh no, this is not reasonable, just drop it. Internally, though, I had always this fight, this struggle about the reason and the reasonable. And since I married someone who continued or perpetuated this state or this way of going through life, I felt at that moment with the puppy that I needed to break that I just had to do something unreasonable and do this thing, So I knew I wasn't being reasonable, and we've had a tough couple of years with the puppy and the older dog because the older dog didn't accept her. And we had so much chaos in the house, something that my husband hates, and that's why he wants to be reasonable, to keep things under control and not having anything unexpected or something. He wants to be able to predict everything. So with the 2 dogs, our house became a chaos. Our household became chaos. I could not manage to get everything under control, and I just let go. I also was shown to start being more assertive because the 2 dogs were just running over me. And I needed to show them leadership. And it was really tough because it went against all my soft and gentle approaches that I would always take out first. And although I sometimes feel this call for leadership, I avoid it. we are so good at avoiding things that are calling us as humans. And so today, looking at Gigi and remembering all this, I'm grateful for where we are at. The house and the home and the household are still a chaos. My husband still thinks it was not reasonable to take a second dog. I'm still struggling with my leadership over them, but it's all been going for the better. I mean, I have 2 dogs that are really close to me, and I've learned how to trust myself in letting them free. And I still have a long way to go. And I still have to show them more leadership and more freedom. And that is what they are mirroring, to show myself that I can take more leadership and take more freedom. And on freedom, I will dedicate an entire new story, message, and whisper from my soul to yours.